Finland has been named the world's happiest country for the fourth year in a row in 2021. Why are the Finns so happy? Today, we are going to find out. Hi, this is Mahmoudul Islam, and I'm a journalist, blogger, and writer in Bangladesh. I currently work at the Business Standard. It's a national financial daily in Bangladesh, and I've been writing about Finland on my Medium blog for the last couple of years. Today, joining me from Australia is Susanna Heiskanen. She's a Finn. She's a blogger and also a podcast host. And she blogs at Nordic Mom, and her blog and her podcast mostly focus on the Nordic lifestyle with a special focus on minimalism. Today, we are going to talk to Susanna about why Finns are so happy. So we are going to start this interview now. Hi, Susanna. Hi.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the interview. So my first question to you would be, tell us about yourself and your blog, and what was the inspiration behind starting your blog? And of course, how did you end up in Australia from Finland?
Well, I left Finland 1999. I moved to London.
Okay.
I went to work as a nurse. So in the end of 1990s, there was a recession in Finland, and there was not jobs for nurses. And I had just qualified, and I wanted to, move overseas because I couldn't get a job in Finland. And I'm still on the same trip. And I met my husband in London, who is British.
Wow,
and
great.
then I worked in a corporate world. I left nursing behind after 2 years in nursing, realizing that I had back pains, and I was like 25, 26. And I was like, don't want to have this because by the time I'm 40, I won't be able to work. And I went to work in a corporate world, and the company that I was with then sent me over to Australia 2008 for a secondment, and still on the same trip, secondment. And my husband loved it here because he's British, and he said Australia is very like British, but it's a warmer climate. And I have to say, I like Australia better than the UK. UK can be quite harsh as a society, and Australia is like Finland. I immediately felt more home here than I ever did in UK.
Okay, maybe except the winter thing and the darkness and the
Yes, perhaps the climate, but the people and the genuine interest to each other and the kind of way people are here. Yes, it was very much like in Finland. So that's why, and we're still here.
Okay, great. So tell us the story behind starting your blog, The Nordic Mom.
Yes, so after I had my children, so my kids were born 2012 and 2014, I realized that it's only me who's kind of keeping up the Finnish standards or the Finnish Nordic lifestyle in this family. And I wanted to be able to kind of connect with other people, knowing that there are other people there who are interested about the Finnish and the Nordic lifestyle. And I have like this creative void. I needed to have something to do than just being a mom as well. And when I started as a blogger, as a podcast. So I started just recording. I just put my headset on a computer. I didn't have a microphone or anything, just iPhone, and off I went. And I have over 100 episodes now. And in the beginning, it wasn't about Nordic lifestyle. It was more about being a parent, being motherhood. And then it was about other businesswomen. I had a business here, which I had finished, and I was talking with other businesswomen about their lifestyle. And then episode 52, I put draw a line in the sand, and now it's all about the Nordic lifestyle and the Scandinavian way of living. And then I started my website at the same time. And it was like a creative, I needed to have something out of it was passion. It was like I needed to tell people the story of how good the life can be if you live like the Nordics, even though you might not be able to live in the country itself.
Right, okay, yeah. And I think the Finnish word for passion is intohimo, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, because
it is.
I've always been trying to learn Finnish words. So yeah, I got it. I got the word when I was in Finland. So the next question is, how is the COVID-19 pandemic situation now in Australia? How are they managing over there?
Well, we've just had 2 new cases in New South Wales yesterday. But before that, we haven't had any cases for months. So there's only about, because there's a quarantine. So when you arrive in a country, wherever you come from, it doesn't matter where you come from, you have to stay 14 days in a hotel quarantines, and you will be tested 2-3 times. And then when you get negative, you can go. And so there might be people in a hotel quarantine who are positive, but they're not allowed to leave the hotel quarantine until they're negative. So we don't have any cases. Any of the states don't have any cases. So we're like New Zealand, we are negative in terms of the cases. And we have vaccination program that started. I've had my first jab, and I'm due to my next jab in 2 weeks time. My husband is already fully vaccinated. Okay. So we are prisoners in this paradise. So I can't go to Finland, and I can't go to England or anywhere to see family. We have a travel bubble with New Zealand, as we are recording this in the 6th of May. So there's travel bubble within 2 countries, but that might, fold if these cases now that we have turn out to be variant of virus that is very virulent and more able to spread. So we're pretty good. We've been very blessed, and the government actions have been very swift in terms of protecting us.
Okay, great to know. Yeah, so the next question: Finland was ranked the happiest country in the world this year when the World Happiness Report came out in March, and this is the 4th year running that Finland topped the World Happiness Report. And does that make you happy?
Very happy.
Okay, as a Finn, you should be feeling happy. Yeah, okay. My country has topped the World Happiness Report. So the next question, you wrote an article on your blog titled "Why the Nordic Countries Are the Happiest in the World," and you said people can trust each other, the government, the society, and also long-term happiness is linked to social trust in the Nordic countries. So can you tell us a bit about this trust, and how does this trust work in the Finnish society?
Well, you've lived there, so you would know this.
Oh, yeah, I know it very well. I know it very well.
In terms of, it's like you trust your neighbor. It's like you leave your laundry on the line and it's going to rain. So your laundry is going to get wet, but your neighbor can go and pick up the laundry and put it in the basket and put it away for you. So what the happiness report to me tells that in Finland, even though I lived in countries where you don't know your neighbors, but in Finland, yes, you might not know your neighbors, but you would still trust them and they would trust you. And one of the reasons, probably, is that we are quite homogeneous society in Finland, whether that's good or the bad, but we are very much thinking other people as well, not just our own gain. What can we get from this? So we're thinking about what good can we do for someone else? How can we help that other person as well? It's not about us, it's us as a, collectively, what makes us as a society. So because you can trust your neighbors, you can trust the society, and you can trust the government that they have their best interest in their heart and hand when they're making decisions. Like in COVID is a good example that there's been criticism with the government in terms of some of the actions that's not being swift enough and not harsh enough, and some actions being too lenient, but still the government popularity and the trust that the people show towards the government is higher than it would be some other places in same circumstances.
Okay, so actually when you have a high level of trust in the government, in your institutions, and also in other, like the citizens of your country, that actually helps with the level of happiness in individuals, as Finland has shown.
Yeah, it's like a ripple effect, because if you trust on the government, you trust that all those institutions and functions, that the social services that are in place, they are there to support and help you to be happy and live your life in your best possible outcome that you have. So why can't you be happy?
Yeah, I understand. Okay. You also wrote that Finns are very quietly happy with the life just as it is. Like there is the humble outlook in life that you don't need to have or be anything more than you are. So tell us more about this Finnish attitude towards life. Like why you Finns are like that. Why do you think that way? Do you grow up with this kind of thinking?
Yes, I think it comes very much down how we are brought up in Finland. We are a country of equal opportunities where everybody, no matter where you are or where you're from, you are in the same level when you go to school, and you are teach that you can get to anywhere. You can be the doctor, you can be the president, you can be the prime minister or the lawyer or the nurse, whatever it is that you choose, because you are on the same level with everybody else, because the education in Finland is public and is very well funded, and everybody is supported to go towards the same, equal opportunities that exist in the education system. But then also we look at the life that you don't have to have the newest car, the newest house, the newest thing to be happy. So happiness is not about things. Happiness is about that you are well educated and you are supporting the society with your work, and you are contributing towards something good in your life, whether it's the work, whether it's providing some kind of your coach in a football club. So there's something that you're doing that is providing to someone else as well. So it's always about looking out for other people, and it's not about your own gain as well, that I was saying earlier. That I think the thinking is just different. Like I have this conversation with lots of expats and lots of Australians as well. Australia is very materialistic, like America. Like they're very much about things.
Things,
So
yeah.
they are looking at things making them happy, the new
Mm,
car, the new house, the
mm,
new jewelry, the new
mm,
clothing.
mm,
And even the kids are like that. I need to have that toy and this and that. And they don't look at it in a like less is more, that we don't need to have all those things to be happy. We can just be happy by just going to walk in the beach and have a swim. You don't have to pay for that, and you can be happy with that. But no, but we need to have the new umbrella to go to the beach. We need to have the new toys to take to the beach. We need to have something to make us happy, to be happy in a place where we can happy without anything. So I think for Finns, it is kind of, we've grown up with it. And I think if you go back in history, you will see that in Finland, because we've had to fight for our existence, and we've had to be humble and just be grateful what we have. And generations before us were people who didn't have anything, but they were still stoically getting on with it. They were not those people like, let's go say the Swedes, who were demanding that we need to have more of this and this. So the generations before mine, my parents and their grandparents, they were those who had to really kind of work to have what they have. So I think it comes from that upbringing. It's like, well, we had to work, we had to war, we had to fight to get where we are, and that we are still in that kind of a thinking and feeling that we don't need to have those things. And it's a nice place to be. It's not a bad place to think that life is good just as it is.
right, yeah, great to know that. The humble outlook towards life, that things are not everything, but that you exist and that you work and you contribute to the society. That's the element of happiness in Finland. Okay, so you're all talking about this equality thing and the Finnish society and also the Nordic countries. Like they rank really, really high when it comes to this equality, and everyone has the right to succeed in life, and also the society it supports them towards their life journey. So, how does this affect happiness? Like when you have the feeling that you are equal with everyone else in the society, how does that affect your sense of happiness?
I think because you know that, you know, you can fail in life and
Mhm.
there's still support around you from the society, government, then you can trust that if you fall, someone will help you to get up again. And that's the same for the other Nordic countries. All the Scandinavian countries have this society where the social network is there to catch you up if you fall. So you might fall from very high, you might have a business, you might fail the business and you lose your house and everything. But there's, you have social, network that will have to actually catch you and lift you up again, or you might not have anything and you lose just the bare minimum that you have, but you still have that social network and that social equalness, even with the guy who fell from really far and high, and you're all in the same place. There's this a man who started this place where they can have food for homeless people and people who are in a hardship in
Yeah, like the food
Helsinki.
banks. Yeah. I
Food
saw that in
banks.
Finland. I saw that in Finland. Mhm.
And he started it. He was high in the food chain. Like, he was big man, big dreams, and he fell. Like, he went for nothing. And he realized that there was nothing like this, that there was nobody having this kind of help for those people who fell. Of course, there was the government help, but he felt that these people needed something else. So he put this kind of food bank in place, which is still working. His son is now running it, but he also, on part of this food bank, is giving other kind of support, which is like talking to people, is making sure that they have toothbrushes and they have combs and like things like this. And it's kind of like what I was explaining, that in Finland, this social network is there to kind of pick you up, and you're still equal with the big man or that small woman, because you're all in the same place. And I think it goes with education as well, because as I said earlier, we are all equal in the school. We start from the same level. We don't know how to write or read when we start the school, but we all kind of go up the grades and we learn more and more and more. And the Finland, the concept of lifelong learning,
Yeah.
is very much engraved you from the beginning, that you can always learn some more and you can always get somewhere else, and you just start off from the same place. And I think equality in the workplace is very important in Finland as well. And I've seen that coming in Australia, which is very chauvinistic and sexist, misogynist society, where as a woman you really have to find your way, fight for your rights.
Fight for your rights,
Getting sacked when you are on a maternity leave is not, like a big thing. It's like everybody knows someone who has experienced it. So the Finnish, Norwegian, Swedish, Nordic society, where you are supported even in your journey in parenthood so well that you don't have to sneeze and you can just go back to work. When here you have to kind of like, oh, can I come back to work? Oh, do I still have a job? No, you don't have a job.
Okay, yeah, great. So now I want to talk to you about this thing called Sisu, the Finnish word. I think the whole world, when it comes to Finns, everyone talks about Sisu. It's a trait that defines Finns. It's often mentioned during discussions on the winter war between Finland and Russia. And Sisu, it's said that Sisu was something that helped Finns continue the fight against the mighty and powerful Russian army during the harsh winter in the winter war back in 1939. Do you think there is a link between happiness and Sisu? It's like, if I have Sisu, does it help me to be happy?
I think, because if you look at the happiness report, it's not just looking about happiness at the moment, but it's looking at the long-term effects within the country and with the people in the country. And I think it's the resilience of perseverance and kind of, like I was saying earlier, the generations who've had to fight to get where we are today. And you are able to follow that. And we all know what Sisu means. You have lessons about it at school. And everybody knows it's not just a candy or a brand in a truck. It's actually a thing. And I think because we're giving a name for this perseverance, this resilience, and I think all the countries in the Nordic region, in my opinion, have Sisu. We just have a name for it. But Sisu and happiness, are they almost like the two sides of a coin, in a sense that you need perseverance to be in this hard climate, in this sometimes almost place that you wouldn't be able to live otherwise, if you wouldn't have done all those innovations throughout the time to be able to become resilient and stay in Finland and make your living from the land. So yes, I think you need Sisu to be happy in Finland.
Okay, okay, great. So my last question to you is that what are the sources and the elements of your personal happiness as a Finn? Blogging
After
maybe,
being
or writing, being a podcaster.
after being away from Finland for such a long time, for me, my husband and my kids are my happiness. But beyond the family, it is always connecting with other people through my podcast and with my listeners and through my blog. And when people say they've listened to me or they read my articles and that made them happy or inspired them to do something different or it changed viewpoint they had about life. And most of the people who listen to me or read me are from second or third generation people who moved overseas or they haven't had that connection with their Nordic roots, and they're perhaps looking at what is this Finland, Sweden, Norway area, what does it mean and what can I learn from it? So to me, that is my happiness when I hear that people have connected it and it has made a difference for their lives.
Okay, great. Thank you, Susanna. It's been great talking to you.
Pleasure.
And yeah, and my audience, if you want to have a Nordic vibe in your lifestyle, please do check out Susanna's blog, The Nordic Mom. You will find it if you look it up on Google. And Susanna, thanks again. And maybe we will talk again some other times. Goodbye.
Pleasure.
Okay.